In this video, I'm going to share with you the first place that I found my first web design client. And then I'm also going to share with you all the best places that you can find your first web design client as a beginner to web design. So personally, I started my career as a web designer in 2019. And I honestly started with just the intention of making some money online. So when I started, I didn't have enough skills. And I started on freelancer.com. And I found my first web design client on freelancer.com. But it wasn't really the best option for me. I tried for about 2 or 3 months. Then I was able to find my first web design client on freelancer.com, and I was very happy. But I ended up not actually taking any money out of freelancer.com because of the way it works. If you want to stand a chance on freelancer.com, I'm not sure right now, but back then you have to be in their membership, their paid membership, in order to stand a chance. So I had to be on the membership, and I couldn't find a client initially. So I thought maybe if I charge the lowest price, I will be able to find a client. So I charged the lowest price on the platform, a ridiculously low amount of money, and I ended up finding a few clients there, and I built a website for them. But because I didn't have enough skills, some of the clients end up disputing the payment, and I didn't get the money because I didn't do a good job. And the ones that actually pay me, I use the money to pay for the membership on freelancer.com, and I figured it isn't working for me. So even though I found my first web design client on freelancer.com, I never actually make money as a web designer on freelancer.com. So I moved to Fiverr, and Fiverr is where I started really making money as a freelancer in general, because on Fiverr I managed to find a client that has a web design agency. So they have a lot of work from clients, and when they have too much work, the owner or the agency owner, they pass on some small web design tasks to me, and they pay me a low amount of money, but not as low as when I was on freelancer.com. And that is where I was able to start actually taking money, making some money as a web designer. And I started also getting some 5-star reviews on Fiverr. And that is why, in my own personal opinion, based on my personal experience, the best place that you can start as a beginner to web design is a freelancing platform. The top freelancing platforms are Upwork, Fiverr, and freelancer.com. I didn't have a very good experience on freelancer.com, but it is most likely because I started on freelancer.com without experience, and that is probably why I messed it up. So if you have the skills, you spend enough time into learning and practicing, you are confident about your skills to do the job, then you are ready. Then just go to the freelancing platforms, Fiverr, Upwork, and freelancer.com. Put all your time and energy into figuring out how they work. In my own personal experience, I transitioned to virtual assistants. But when I transitioned to virtual assistants, I figured I found better virtual assistant client on Upwork, but I found better web design client on Fiverr.com. So in my own opinion, based on my own experience, really, freelancing platforms, Upwork and Fiverr are the best. So just set up your account on Upwork and Fiverr and go all in. If you have a good portfolio with good work samples, then if you just learn how the platforms work, you will have a higher chance. And really, the next place that is even better for me is referrals, because I managed to build a relationship with people that I work for over the years, and that allowed me to get a lot of web design clients through referrals. Even this week, I had a web design client through referrals. So, and when someone comes through referrals, you don't have to convince them you can do the job, because someone already told them that you can do the job. So they are the easiest client to work with. So freelancing platforms is the best place to start as a complete beginner. And when you started, focus on building a relationship so that you will be able to start getting clients through referrals. And if you are not yet very confident about your own skills to actually build the landing pages for clients, you can watch this video where I gave a step-by-step tutorial that you can follow in order to have your first landing page on WordPress. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.